changing leadership and how it's good. We talked about attitude, and sometimes just a change is in and of itself is good. A fresh pair of eyes on the problem. How would you evaluate if one could only make one change at this mayor and council, how important do you think it is to change the Ward 3 seat, in your opinion?
Well, if you look at mayor and council, look at the histories of how folks got elected. Most of them rose up through neighborhood activism or through a neighborhood association or a nonprofit sector. Very few people really have true private sector experience. You could argue Jonathan Rothschild has some of that, but for the most part, they're all kind of either government bureaucrats, nonprofit, or neighborhood activists. And so a lot of the issues that roll through our community, you can really see what that looks like. I don't think at that table, elected table at the City of Tucson, we have folks that really understand economic development and business and what the role of that is. And then back to your particular background and experience, that's kind of your history and your experience. And if we're ever going to see conversations around true economic vitality, diversified economic base, we got to have some folks in there that understand what that means and how that works. Who can look eyeball to the next Raytheon or the next Grand Canyon University and say, I know what you need, I understand how this works, and let me be your advocate on my side of the aisle to get this done, because it's important to the long-term vision and region that I know is important to my families and my ward district and my city. I just don't know if I see that as much as I could. Again, there's glimmers of it, but I think there needs to be a concerted effort towards that. Again, all these cities around this country are waking up saying, how do I get the next Raytheon? How do I get the next Grand Canyon University? What are we waking up and saying every day? I don't know.
And in this economy, it's very much more competitive city to city than it used to be.
Right.
Because you're right, a Ventana Medical, someone like you in your line of work, you could do it anywhere.
Right. And, as an entrepreneur, you look for the path of least resistance.
Right.
You look for the largest market you can get. You look for the area, ease to entry and barrier to entry to get in. Capital and time is money, so you want to do it quick. You want to know the game board. Make it a complicated game board. I'm cool with that, but don't be changing it. Let me understand what it is going in, and I'll make the decision whether I can invest my time and capital to make that happen.
Talk about the importance of predictability for a business person. Like you said, the rules are the rules, but don't always be changing them.
Right, and inconsistencies, vague. I mean, someone told me that at one point that the Tucson Land Use Code is written so you could find a no anywhere you wanted to find it. And that's when you start getting into the political realm with some vocal folks against whatever you're trying to do. They can find ways to make that process hard. It can be overt. It can be stalling. Those are the ways you kill and stifle creativity. Those are the ways that you get a bad reputation that maybe it isn't as bad as it really is. It's only that small subsection of folks that get into that wheelhouse. But it's enough to make people not want to come here and do stuff.
One of the things you've promoted, or the examples that you bring up on the radio program and your website as well, are just these constant lists that Tucson seems to appear on that are not good lists.
Right.
Worst city for crime, worst city for small business entrepreneurs. Is that...
So those rankings, which I think we're number 6 in the last census on poverty in the United States for a city over 500,000, the bottom 5 for entrepreneurship and small business, according to CNN Money. Those are symptoms of a long history of not doing the job correctly. They don't happen overnight. They can be reversed, but it takes everybody being at the table and saying, look, we want to be different and show up different. Which is why this most recent discussion that happened around Grand Canyon University is so concerning. So even in the face of number 6 in the country in poverty, even in the face of one of the worst places for business, according to CNN Money, we continue to blink and make the wrong decisions on major decisions that could change the whole future of Tucson and families.
And you're right, opportunities like this don't just drop into a community.
No, people work really hard to make that happen, and to see that decision get botched so badly, I think it's really a wake-up call to Tucson.
Let's hope so. Get out and vote.
Time to vote, folks.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, you got it, Ben.